What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw for TV. So, in my prior video, I told you how they're now trying to attack Michael Jordan. Trying to get you to question, especially the younger generation, the validity of his accomplishments now. Since they can't match accomplishments, now they're trying to make you question his accomplishments, the validity of his accomplishments. So, I say, let's fight fire with fire. So, the first 7 years of LeBron James' career, his first 7 years he played in Cleveland, he shot 47.2% from the floor. Sounds respectable, right? Well, you often hear how people will say, especially his fans, how he was so much more efficient than Kobe Bryant. Let's look at the facts. 48% of Kobe's shot attempts came from the paint. When I say the paint, I really should say, from the foul line to the three-point line. 48% of his shots came within that range, which is generally considered mid-range. Now, this outer mid-range toward three-point. 48% of his shot attempts were in that vicinity. With LeBron James, half, now more than half, a majority of his shots have come in the paint. Come in the paint. Now, people might try to make excuses, right? And say, well, that doesn't really matter, right? I mean, shot attempts are shot attempts, okay. Well, if it's all about field goal percentage, well, shouldn't we say DeAndre Jordan is the greatest scorer ever? I mean, he shot 67.5% for his career so far. That's by far number one all time, right? DeAndre Jordan. But we know what you'll say about that? You'll say, well, I mean, he's right in the basket. Rudy Gobert has the highest career true shooting percentage of all time. Does that make him amongst the greatest shooters ever? Steph Curry is nowhere near the leaders in those vicinities. Field goal percentage, career, true shooting percentage. But he's considered one of, if not the greatest shooter of all time. Because we know field goal percentage is a flawed concept. You have to consider degree of difficulty, range, shot attempts, where you're shooting. But for some reason, when I bring up Kobe Bryant and where he's shooting most of his shots from, and where LeBron's shooting, you know what I call them. And I can't say it on here no more. They don't want to hear that. But they use context with others. But not when it comes to their king. Their not so secret crush. They don't want to hear context then. So let's go further. The first 7 years of LeBron James' career, he shot 47.2% from the floor. However, from 5 feet and in, he shot 68% from the floor. However, from 5 feet and beyond, during that 7-year period, LeBron only shot 36% from the floor. It's a wonder that in the 2007 finals, when the Spurs kept him out of the paint, what did LeBron shoot? 35% from the floor, only 22 points a game. What did LeBron James shoot the first 2 years of his career before the league made any rule changes in 2005 to make the game easier to shoot and to score? And to be more efficient? 45% from the floor. Interesting how he became more efficient as the NBA made it easier and easier for offensive players to score. Then 2012 is when they really started making changes. Now, also 2012 was around time when LeBron James, or around the time he joined Miami, when he had talent around him. That's why he always wants to play on these super teams, because it makes it easier for him. It spaces the floor. And that's why he needs a big man that's not clogging the paint. So he can Jerome Bettis, stiff arm a defender, get away with it, commit offensive fouls, traveling all over the place, and score unimpeded. Because, they pretty much changed the game to suit LeBron James. You know that, right? They basically got rid of the traditional center who clogs the middle and replaced them with over-glorified stretch forwards, so that guys like LeBron James could just drive to the basket and score unimpeded. But you want me to question the validity of Michael Jordan? LeBron's whole career is a fraud. His whole career is a damn fraud. From 2012 onward, LeBron would shoot 52.5% from the floor. And is this because of an improvement in his offensive repertoire, his skills? Not really. The improvement is more, if anything, because he gets to drive more to the basket unimpeded. And his proof is in the numbers. Since 2012, 40% of his shot attempts have come from 5 feet on in. When he gets the bowling ball his way to the basket and power over people and drive and try to score, 40% of his shot attempts have come from 5 feet on in. And in those 40%, now he shoots 71%. Why the 3-point percentage increase? The 3-point percentage increase? Because now there's no resistance. Before you had a Dwight Howard or somebody, at best now you got Rudy Gobert, who's a fraud. So 40% of his shot attempts come 5 feet on in, and he shoots 71%. The other 60% is from 5 feet on out, and he shoots 37% from the floor. That's just a 1% increase. And for the most part, when he's shooting threes, being that he's a power forward / center now, and he's shooting from outside, and usually he's being matched up in a switch with a guy who's like 6-7 inches shorter than him, or at very least 4 or 5 inches shorter than him. Well, LeBron's getting a clean look at the basket all the time, whether it's a layup or he's shooting over somebody that can't really defend his shot. He's getting or sometimes he's wide open because the guy's playing him, because you can't be physical anymore, and the guy's playing him for that weak-ass drive. So a lot of times LeBron is wide open for a three. They let him shoot it wide open. There's no defensive pressure. So if you want to talk about somebody being a fraud, let's get it on, Clutch. Let's get this on.